Welcome back to DA Wrestling Podcast. It's our SmackDown review for New Year's Revolution SmackDown. We got a Fatal 4-Way on the way at the Royal Rumble. We'll get into that. Cross and AOP debuted. Tyler Bate debuted. We'll get into all that. But first, Andrew, how you doing, man?
All right. It's kind of snowing outside a little bit here in Canada. It is the Great White North. So I can imagine that people will be driving like morons today on the road. Can't wait.
Yeah, seriously. So before we get into SmackDown, I just want to touch on a little bit of Wrestle Kingdom, bro.
Yeah, let's talk about Wrestle Kingdom. We got ourselves a new United States champion. We got ourselves a debut.
Yeah. So
at the end of an era in with Okada.
Maybe.
And Ospreay.
We'll see. Well, actually, I'll get into that in a second because more's come out over the last couple of days. So January 4th, if everybody wasn't aware, is the annual Wrestle Kingdom card by New Japan Pro Wrestling. Great card this year. Capped off by Tetsuya Naito regaining the IWGP Heavyweight Championship from Sonata.
Go Naito.
Finally getting his moment. And for those that are longtime New Japan fans, you will understand he finally finished the goddamn story.
There's hope for Cody Rhodes yet.
Yeah, seriously. But some other highlights on the show. Okada and Bryan Danielson had put on another clinic. Was just as good as the first match, if not better. I sent you Okada's entrance, which he used like UV lighting to change his ring jacket.
That's cool.
That was so. And to be fair, the atmosphere when his music hit, I don't think there's anything cooler in wrestling than Okada coming to the ring for Wrestle Kingdom. Like, that man, his aura in Japan is like, I can't even put it into words.
I can. Awesome.
Yeah. The triple threat, Will Ospreay, who came out with an Assassin's Creed homage getup. He actually partnered with Ubisoft.
That's cool.
To get this done. But yeah, him and Moxley, they got upset by David Finlay, and I called it.
I don't think anybody didn't see that one coming, to be honest with you. With Moxley being full-time in AEW and Ospreay moving to AEW full-time, I just don't see. I never saw that not happening.
And it's the global championship now. They've dropped the UK and US, whatever bullshit that they were going on about. And now it's just the IWGP global championship, which Moxley had a really funny thing post-match about how he's supposed to explain how he didn't win this title, and then he forgot the name of the title that he was going to go against, or he was competing for.
And he has a lot on his mind, John.
He's like, there's 32 fucking titles.
Yeah.
And yes, as you alluded to, there was a debuting Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Who was called out by David Finlay.
Kind of interesting how he went and New Japan. Kind of interesting how he went to New Japan.
That was not the one I thought he was going to. I thought it was either Impact or AEW. And you know what? He may still sign with one of them.
I was expecting more like TNA than anything else.
Did I say Impact? I guess it's TNA now.
It's TNA now. But yeah, I would expected probably TNA.
Yeah.
Possibly AEW. Because I know his brother was there.
Great on that TNA roster.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the press conference, David Finlay was just cutting a promo, and Nemeth just fucking jumped the table and beat the shit out of him. Leading into New Year's Dash, which is always the night after Wrestle Kingdom, we have what is announced as Will Ospreay's final New Japan match, which is coming up at New Beginning in February.
Okay.
and it's going to be Bullet Club War Dogs, which I believe is like David Finlay's the leader of Bullet Club. That's the faction that of Bullet Club that they're going by these days. So it's going to be Bullet Club War Dogs against United Empire in an 8-man tag team match, and and that's going to be Ospreay's swan song. But they also announced coming up in a couple of weeks at Battle in the Valley in San Jose. New Japan's coming back over. It's going to be a rematch between Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay. Man, do I need to get my hands on that match?
You have to go see it. You have to go to San Jose.
Well, I think they're gonna broadcast it somewhere. I think New Japan World will have it. I don't know. I haven't checked if they have like a free trial thing.
Should.
I might.
You should find out.
Might look into that.
Yeah, but it's something for you to do.
So yeah, like, what do you take on all that?
Will Ospreay coming back to New Japan doesn't surprise you one bit. That contract with AEW is completely open like that, and that's what AEW does. They have a very good working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah,
been endured the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's going to be one of those things where they are going to honor those things, and Will Ospreay will constantly still be in New Japan. He just won't be under full contract by them.
Yeah.
So as far as Nick Nemeth showing up, like I said, we both said I was surprised it was New Japan. I thought we figured AEW, but good for him. Some of the matches he can have there though are gonna be really good. Like he was one of the best workers at WWE, and that's a fact.
For the last 15 years, dude, he's been one of the best workers.
Yeah, so he's going to be able to go have some matches with Naito. Probably
a list.
Yeah, there's a list there.
Go down the list, dude. Like Shingo Takagi comes to mind. Like, actually, one I would like to see is Hiromu Takahashi and Nick Nemeth. That would just burn the fucking place down. Moving on.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the new agreement between WWE and All Japan?
No.
Okay, so it was announced a couple of days ago that WWE is entering a working relationship with All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Well, that's something new.
They kind of alluded to this like last year, lending Nakamura to Pro Wrestling Noah. But yeah, they're sending over William Regal's son, Charlie Dempsey, to fight for a title or something sometime in the near future. Which, to
be honest, the more WWE can like work with other people, the better it's going to be for everybody.
100%.
Like just being our own single entity, like WWE has a giant roster as it is WWE, but if you be able to work with people and send people over and loan them back and forth, just like AEW does with New Japan, it's gonna work out for everybody in the long run. It really will.
100%, man.
It's more money.
And the best example of that, though, is like, look at how much Eddie Kingston has risen his stock in New Japan Strong.
Yeah.
And now he's come back. He's, also Ring of Honor World Champion. And now he's the Continental Champion, AEW Continental Champion.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good for business.
Last bit of news before we get into SmackDown. Money in the Bank's coming to our neck of the woods, homie.
We are looking forward to
it. July 5th, 6th, and 7th. SmackDown, Money in the Bank, and NXT Heatwave are coming to Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, which is a quick 45-minute drive up the QE.
Maybe 30, depending on traffic.
Yeah, that night it'll probably be closer to 45.
Yeah, especially if the Jays are in town. When is that? June, July?
It's the first weekend in July. The 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, Bryce, so the Jays will be in town probably for that.
Then maybe.
Because that would be a homestand because Canada Day's that week.
So full disclosure, when Forbidden Door was here in Toronto last year, Andrew and I were on the floor at Forbidden Door. And prior to that, we actually spent the early afternoon catching a Jays game as they kicked the living shit out of the Oakland Athletics. What was that game, like 12-1?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It was good though.
Yeah, no,
fun.
Honestly, if you go down for a wrestling pay-per-view and the Jays are playing at 1:00, just get yourself like a $12 ticket like we did and just go roam around the stadium for a couple hours.
It cost 20. Each ticket was like $20. It was $40.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
Absolutely.
And the way the facility is now in Toronto with the Skydome, Rogers Center, it's a lot better than what it used to be. So you have a lot more things. So you get, and it's better viewing too, no matter where you are.
Yeah, I can't wait to go check out a game this year with the renovations to the lower bowl too.
Yeah. Well, White Sox are here in the first month, so they'll probably get the shit kicked out of them because I don't think they're going to do anything this year. But who knows? They still haven't signed anybody. Well, they signed a few things here and there, but they signed more than Jays have.
If we manage to attend Money in the Bank, how would you feel about doing like a live podcast afterwards, like as we're driving home?
Oh, we could totally do that.
Yeah,
it'd be fun.
All right, if you guys want to hear this, let us know down below. You know, like
reviews right there.
I'm stealing Andrew's shit right now. You know, like, share, subscribe. You know, and we'll bring that to you in 7 months.
Okay, comment down below, guys. Let us know how you guys feel about it, man. If you guys enjoy that, if you guys want to know
all right, let's get into SmackDown, buddy.
If you guys want to know more about New Japan, let us know. About more New Japan. But yeah, let's get into SmackDown.
Listen, I will watch as much New Japan as I can if you guys want to hear more about New Japan.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into SmackDown because we got a fair amount of things to go through here.
Yeah, so it started off with Kevin Owens and Santos Escobar, the finals of the U.S. #1 contendership tournament.
That was the first match of the card. Before that, Roman Reigns entered the building. It was also taking place in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, here in the Great White North. Roman Reigns first entered there. Kathy Kelly asked Roman what he thought of The Rock's sitting at the head of the table. And Roman just had a nice chuckle and laughed. And kept on walking.
And walked away. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, first match of the card was Kevin Owens versus.
I guess that's what I get for tuning in at 8:05.
Absolutely.
I thought I just missed the entrances.
No, Santos Escobar versus Kevin Owens with
the LWO coming out to attack Humberto and Angel.
Yeah, but what's interesting about that though is that Logan Paul showed up in Vancouver. He was there. He got booed.
He was there on commentary, and I guess we'll get into what happened post match. But like,
he should really get his facts straight.
Good match between Santos and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it was a very good match.
I wasn't sure how this one was going to go.
Well, you I think you said last week on SmackDown it would be Kevin Owens would probably beat Santos Escobar, just based on the fact that it'd probably be a better match than Logan Paul.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to disagree with that because I like Kevin Owens. It'll be definitely make it really exciting, and I'm not really surprised by Kevin winning at all. But what I am a little irritated about is that you're building up Santos Escobar to become this like pretty good heel, right?
Yeah.
Or at least a mid-card heel that's going to be like somewhat dominant, almost to what he was, maybe a better version of what he was in NXT with Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah.
And you kind of just had him lose to Kevin Owens. I mean, mind you, it's Kevin Owens, but still.
Yeah, so I don't think Santos loses anything here because Kevin Owens, he is higher on the card.
Yeah.
So I think that like Santos doesn't lose anything here. And like I said to you last week, Santos's heel turn is still pretty fresh.
Yeah.
So like you're not going to jump him right into like a title program right away. But I think if this goes one of two ways, I think Santos is next in line, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Whether it's Owens or Logan Paul that win at the Royal Rumble.
I think Logan's going to hold that belt.
I think Santos is next in line.
I think Logan holds that belt for a while. I mean, did you see the video with him and the crybaby Patrick Mahomes?
Which video?
With him and Patrick Mahomes holding the fucking U.S. title.
Where Patrick Mahomes traded one of his Super Bowl rings for the U.S. title and a case of Prime or something like that. Yeah. Stupid.
He's really starting to get on my nerves, at Patrick Mahomes. But anyway, if you guys want to see what I think about him, check out the video on our YouTube channel of me ripping on Patrick Mahomes. That's a good laugh. Anyway,
so post match, Logan Paul's running down KO, running his mouth,
runs down the Canucks.
Owens just pops him in the mouth with the cast.
Yeah,
and left quite the shiner actually, because they showed a picture later in the broadcast.
Oh yeah, it was that bad, eh?
Yeah, they showed a picture later in the broadcast that Logan Paul took. His face was nice and red.
Nice.
Yeah.
Following that match, we had Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I guess if you want to call them the Hurt Business 2.0, if you want to call them that. I don't know. Bobby was basically talking about how he wanted to become. He didn't like the last year he had. He wanted to become more of a champion, move more towards that. He felt
this was 100% their babyface turn, because nobody's booing Lashley at this point.
No. But then Karrion Kross showed up
with Scarlett, and then with Paul Ellering, returning Paul Ellering.
Yep. And the returning of AOP, which we talked about last week.
The
on our SmackDown show.
Back. The only thing I didn't like about this segment was how weak that Super Collider looked.
Yeah, I don't know how long they used it. I mean, it might have been a while.
That was their kind of, well, that was one of their finishes.
Yeah.
In NXT, their big finish is like called the Last Chapter, which I think is a clothesline Russian leg sweep combo.
Yeah. That they might not do that anymore though. I think there might have been, they might have hurt people with that, because it's a pretty vicious clothesline. It's bloody vicious.
I mean, you can just, but it's been Corey Graves said like it's been 4 years since they've been on. Almost actually, because their last appearance was like maybe February of 2020.
Yeah,
like honestly, like just before the pandemic, they were aligned with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, it was a really good segment. A lot of people liked it. I like the direction they're finally doing something with Karrion Kross. I mean, I don't know.
What do you think of his new finish? That pump handle into like the F5 DDT thing.
My concern is if he doesn't. By the way Bobby landed, it didn't look like it's going to work very well, because it looks like it might hurt somebody. But it looks cool though. Like it's almost, you know what it looks like? Almost a bitter end by Pete Dunne.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Like the bitter end's close. It looks pretty close to a bitter end. Speaking of Pete Dunne, we'll get to him later on. Well, he's not Pete Dunne still yet, but we'll get to that next. Match after that was Michin versus Io Sky. I think
this was a better match than I expected.
Yeah, it was a good match. Really, I think it put Michin in a good spot. I think it makes it look really good.
I think Michin got to show off. You know, she got to remind people who the fuck she is, man.
Yeah, she was good.
It's been a long time since she's kind of had like a solo spotlight.
Well,
she's been in tag teams and stuff like that, and like, she's been following around the OC and shit, and so it's good for her to get in the ring and remind people how good she actually is, man.
Yeah, and after the match, Damage Control was celebrating with Io Sky. Bianca Belair interrupted and saying that she's entered the Royal Rumble with Bayley. Bayley's probably the heavy favorite right now to win the Royal Rumble, but
I still think Mania is going to be Bayley and Io Sky.
It's a good possibility. I think that's probably what's going to happen, but right now Bayley is the heavy favorite to win that. I think that like the men's Royal Rumble is still more concerned with who's going to win that, but the women's.
I'm about to Mafia in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. So match after that, the Pretty Deadly.
Did we mention Lashley declared himself for the Rumble?
Yes, he did. No, we did not mention, but yeah, Lashley also declared himself for the Royal Rumble as well. So that should be good. I mean, he's going to dominate in that for sure. Pretty Deadly, which I can't bloody stand. they annoy the shit out of me, right? And I don't give a damn if you say they're doing the job or not. I just don't like them. I just don't like them. Against Butch, I don't know why they don't bring back Pete Dunne yet. And the debut of Tyler Bate,
Yes.
basically strong style,
Yes.
English strong style.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Listen, they brought Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate in at the exact same time for that UK title tournament 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Tyler Bate won that.
Yeah.
And Pete Dunne's been on the main roster for like 2 years now.
Yeah. Well, Pete Dunne also had a very lengthy run of that UK title too after he beat Tyler Bate for as well.
Yeah. A lot of people forget Tyler Bate was the first champion.
Yeah. Well, because Pete Dunne's
that's how quick that reign was.
Well, don't forget too, when Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, year and a half, Walter, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So then it pretty much went Dragunov, and now it's done. So
and then back to Tyler Bate, because Tyler Bate was the last UK champion when he.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, before they the titles together.
Yeah, they merged the titles with Braun Breaker.
Yeah, that's stupid. But anyway, press.
And you know what? Great showing by, Butch and Tyler Bate. I hope they keep these guys together as a tag team, especially since it seems like they've sent Ridge Holland back down to NXT.
Yep.
And Sheamus is hurt again.
Yeah, and it looks like too. Apparently, Graves had like a identity crisis in the match because he ended up calling Butch and teased potential of Butch going back to Pete Dunne, which I hope so. I mean, like we got a chance to see Pete Dunne live at NXT a number of years ago, right? And he's a lot of fun, and his music's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, and the thing is like I don't even think Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are even 30 yet.